Greetings, TheWarOwl greets you, and welcome once again to another episode of Matchmaking Academy, where you are the star for all the wrong reasons. But don't worry, we're going to figure out what those reasons are and help you improve at Counter-Strike Global Defensive. Our hero today is the Red Guard. He's a Master Guardian Elite player, that's here, and his favorite fish is salmon, and let's be honest, you can't go wrong with salmon. Great food. And he had some questions about how to hold Bombsight A on Overpass, how to take Bombsight A on Overpass, so we're going to be looking into it, figuring out what's going on and helping him improve. Now, look at this. We see it says on the top left, King's Underlings. This is a queue of 5 players, so we can talk about things from a little more of a team perspective, which is nice. Now, keep in mind, very brave guy to send in this demo to put himself out there for all of us to learn from, so don't you make any disparaging comments or anything like that inside of the YouTube comments. Be kind to this guy. Congratulate him for sending this in. Oh my gosh. What a noob uninstall. So we saw in the early parts, he kind of ran out here, chilled inside of the bathrooms, and then fell back to watch long. Now there's nothing wrong with this. This is actually pretty good, because he gets some intel here. He hears a little bit of what's going on from the T's, and that's very important on a map like Overpass. This is a very flank-heavy map. It's also one where you have to worry a lot about map control, because if you don't see any terrorists here screwing around at A, they're probably just going to be taking B. You need to get that control. You need to get that intel earlier on. Now he falls back to hold long A. Holds this position right here. Nothing wrong with the position per se. How did Savant die? That's weird. Anyway, nothing wrong with the position per se, but we saw some really weird shooting from this player, and we'll see it here as this player decides to peek. Let's slow it down, actually, because we saw it in full speed before. Player peeks, and watch this. Look at his ammo. We have boom, 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 2-round bursts. Manual 2-round bursts on the Famas, which is a weapon that has a built-in burst fire mechanic that shoots 3 rounds, which would have killed the guy. Famas doesn't do as much damage as the M4, especially at this distance. But again, it was just kind of odd shooting. Most of the time you're going to be like tap, 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 and you can get more rounds out there even tap shooting, or just go for the full spray. And it's a difficult weapon to control the spray because it goes side to side very quickly. It has kind of a weird recoil pattern. But the main problem here is the movement control of this player. In that, there isn't any. Watch the engagement with Kipos here. He's still holding the same angle he was with the other guy. Could have easily called that and picked him. Now watch this. Kipos is going to shoulder peek. And there's the shoulder peek. Gets him to shoot. Re-peek. Boom, headshot. That's how you should be doing it. And our hero here was just sort of standing there and not incorporating any movement at all into his play. Let's hop in game and give a little bit of demonstration there about what I mean. I'm a terrorist, and I want to hold off long A on Overpass. Now, our hero was holding this position right here and just kind of standing here the whole time. Let's talk about this position. I don't really like it personally, because check this out. You move a little bit to get out of the way of fire, and you expose yourself to a player, a terrorist, who is pushed up at this position and is holding this angle right here. So if you know you've lost bathroom control and you're not watching it, make sure that you're not standing in that position, because the guy here could pick you really easily. So that's just number one. Number two, he's just kind of standing here holding the spot. When you're playing Counter-Strike Global Defensive and you're holding any angle, even long A, especially a position like this, you do not have to engage the enemy. And what I mean by that is you can see him, get the intel, and then escape, get back here, and you know there's some at long. That's really useful information for your team. A better spot to play in order to get intel, in my opinion, is right back here. You're safe from short. You can actually use it to peek these positions. You can peek long, move back a little bit to peek here. And you can play all these different spots, this angle right here. And you don't have to peek it here either. You can jump up over the top of the APC and just kind of see when they're coming. You can get a smoke ready and throw that down just to delay the push of the players moving into the site. This actually would be a bad smoke, because if I saw this smoke get thrown, I would creep around the side right here. So sorry about that. Anyway, you want to be able to hold off this position. You don't want to actually completely always have to engage 100% every time. Now, the player was playing it up really close and holding this. Let's talk about it when he was fighting these guys. Oh, another thing. A very common spot. I'm going to screw up the jump, so you can jump here, and then you can jump up there, whatever. I'm just going to fly up here. Is right up here. You even boost a player over the top to look over the top of this thing. He wasn't really prepared for that kind of thing to happen as well. This player could have killed him when he was watching this spot right here. But again, holding this angle and not even moving, if they see him there, the teammate can call where he is, you'll see him on radar, and then you can pre-peek it. The terrorists are looking to get a pick, which will open up their entry into the site. This player was the one who put a Titan Katowice 2014 on this Famas? That thing is worth a lot of money, I can't believe it. It's there now, there's nothing you can do. It's gone. What was I saying? Oh yeah, you saw how that other player was playing from this position once we figured out where he was. He shoulder peeked it like that, which means only his shoulder is actually visible. And he gets a little bit of intel as well. Saw where the guy was, re-peeked, and took the shot and took him down really easily. Just pre-shot that position. When you're playing a position like this and they see you, nothing wrong with moving back like that, even peeking it out yourself to try to get the shot. But just standing here the whole time, really bad. Gotta work on that movement control. And also the shooting. Check out the spray pattern, the recoil control of the Famas. The first few shots, the first 4 actually, as you can see, are really easy to control. So you could actually, instead of doing a 2-round burst, do a 4 and just pull down a little bit like this. And you see how we can get them all to go kind of the same spot? That would have killed the guy. Just one spray like that would have killed the guy. And also, if you hear the dink, if you got that headshot, instead of continuing to do that and just kind of standing there and not moving the mouse at all, you could go for tap shots on the body, and that would have killed him. Just doing that, or even just full out spraying, trying to control it. Could have been able to kill him. It was just kind of a weird shooting style. Gotta warm up to it. Play a little bit of deathmatch with the Famas and get used to it, dude, because that was definitely not how you want to be shooting this thing. I gotta clarify, when I said tap shooting like that, if you hear the dink and you hit him in the head, they're gonna be low. You know he's low on health. So if you just tap shot and try to go for the body, it's gonna be a lot easier to take him down. So this player actually asked me, how do I hold bomb site A on Overpass? This was the round he pointed out, which, as you see, makes absolutely no sense as a question in context. They're saving on this round. What happened was CTs won the first one, Ts stole back the second, and then they decided to save on this round. One guy bought an armor pistol, but the rest didn't. And this is just kind of a really stupid buy. They didn't buy up fully, and as you see, it'll cause them to have to save twice in a row. Look, as a CT, you need to get at least 3,750 to buy with no helmet and no nades. This is the bare minimum, and it's not really something you want to go with. You want a kit, you want nades, and in the early rounds, you want a helmet. You get 1,400 for losing once in a row. 1,400 plus at least 100 from the last round that you've saved up adds up to enough for an armor pistol buy or a scout with no armor. If you decide to save and purchase nothing, you add in the 1,900 from the next round lost. This adds up to 3,300. $450 short of our bare minimum for a buy. Now the scenario where you buy in the third round to contest the economic momentum, then decide to save the round afterwards. You'll get 1,900 plus 2,400 for losing 3 times in a row, which adds up to 4,300. Enough for armor, helmet, M4, and a flashbang, just for good measure. This means it makes all logical sense to buy armor pistol to contest the economic momentum on round 3 when the score is 1-1 on CT, or to purchase just pistols like the CZ or a Deagle or something on both save rounds without armor, sort of spread that money out a bit across the 2 save rounds for a chance of stealing some weapons and getting picks. But I would recommend armor pistoling the third round for beginners, for a beginner team like this. To prove my point here is Dignitas versus TSM in the exact same situation that you guys were on Overpass, where they won the first round, they lost the second round on CT. They're going to be buying up again. They got Deagles, got armor pistol, 5.7, and a player with a scout with no armor, which is really nice for jump scouting at long. Would this face lie to you? Now, look at this setup here inside of the connector. They have a double stack of players inside of here, which is really nice if you're a little bit low on eco, you want to engage close and personal like this, and maybe get a pick. And check this out, they actually do manage to trade it. So that's actually really nice to pull off on one of these rounds, and maybe something you want to consider putting into your setup. Big thanks to Redguard for sending this in. I wish you guys the best, wish your team the best. Learning is boring. So you know what, guys? Let's get in owl vision. So what did happen to Savant on that fateful day? Oh my gosh! I must try this. Alright, here we go. Oh!